All right, everybody. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's Eve. All right, everybody. It's Chris here again with another video. And in this video today, we're going to be doing a little bit of a year in review. That's right, guys. Today is the last day of 2018. And boy, what a year it has been. It's been quite a roller coaster year for retail, especially for major retail chains. I think the most notable one that closed this year, unfortunately, was Toys R Us, and they closed a lot of stores. But we're going to get into the whole year in review. So we had a lot of good parts about the year, and we also had a lot of not so great parts about the year. So we're going to basically be going month by month, explaining about what happened in all the 12 months of the year. So basically, I'm going to be now going over to my laptop, and we're going to go through every single event that has occurred in 2018 on my YouTube channel. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get started. So here we are, guys. Here's my YouTube channel. So we're basically going to go over what happened in 2018. So, on the first day of 2018, New Year's Day, we took a trip over to the Best Buy store at Westfield Garden State Plaza. Now, the reason why we did this was because we found out that Best Buy was relocating from the Westfield Garden State Plaza to the outlets at Bergen Town Center. So basically, this meant the end of the era for the Schindler MT. Well, not exactly. So basically, the store was closed, and it was turned into a temporary pop-up Toy City Halloween City because of the closure of another toy store that we'll get into. But they didn't use the second floor. So this is technically the official final ride on that elevator because it did close to the public once Best Buy closed. So that's what we did first. The next event was Sears did a announcement of closures, which included the Sears in Hicksville, the big Sears in Hicksville, and also the Sears in Ocean County at the Ocean County Mall in Toms River, New Jersey, was going out of business. We also had the closure of Sears and Roebuck at the Paramus Park Mall in Paramus, New Jersey, as you can see here on the final ride. We took a couple of videos of elevators at the outlets of Bergen Town Center. Ironically, I was at a Century 21 today, not the outlets of Bergen Town Center location, though, the one in Morristown. But we're going to get into that at the very end here. A quick video of an elevator at Westfield Garden State Plaza, some elevators in Teaneck, and then the next major event that happened. JCPenney announced that it made a deal with Unibail Rodamco to close the JCPenney store at the Westfield Garden State Plaza on Saturday, March 10th, 2018. Now, actually, this was actually a few days right before me and Ian were about to plan our trip to Sears at Paramus Park. So this was very devastating when we heard about it, and me and Ian had to make a trip to this JCPenney considering that it was going out of business. Also had an office building elevator video. And then of course, me and Ian made our trip to Sears and filmed most of the store. Unfortunately, towards the end, when we got onto the second floor, we were asked to stop taking pictures of the store due to needing permission from Sears Holdings Media Relations. So that's what happened with that, unfortunately. The next major event was Bon-Ton filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which resulted in Bon-Ton closing their Phillipsburg store at the Phillipsburg Mall in Phillipsburg, New Jersey. And then after that, we had a loss in the elevator community. Nikki Stakewis, who was an elevator filmer based out in California, unfortunately died in a car accident. Died very young though, 95. I think he was like in his early 20s or something like that. We then made a trip to Bridgewater Commons and filmed everything except Crate and Barrel. I was about to say Cracker Barrel. But yeah, we filmed everything except Crate and Barrel. Just a very long walk, and it was a rainy day, and I just didn't feel like walking over there. Not in the rain. We then talked about the removal of the Scenic Dover elevator at the shops at Riverside. We then went on some final rides at JCPenney at Westfield Garden State Plaza, which included the Schindler MTs, the first elevator and the second elevator. I don't know why I didn't go on the escalators, but I did go on the short pair of Schindler MT escalators. I also did that, and then about a couple of days later, me and Ian did my most popular video of the year, the store closing of JCPenney at Westfield Garden State Plaza, the second to final day of operation, and then we finally called that store one last time. We called that store for one last time. We then did it, and then I did a video about Sears and Roebuck, the update of Sears and Roebuck at the Paramus Park Mall in Paramus, New Jersey, becoming that new Stu Leonard supermarket, along with a cinema theater, because Paramus needs another movie theater. And then we had the big blow, the biggest blow of 2018. Toys R Us closing all U.S. locations. And this was a big blow to retail. Very sad. We had an elevator at a hospital in Westwood. We then talked about tenants getting kicked out of the shops Riverside as they were beginning phase 3 of the project. We didn't have any knowledge yet about other things, but more information became available, obviously. We also had the very first Q&A live stream this year, so that did very successful. That was a very successful Q&A live stream, and I'm really glad that you guys were to help me make that a very successful live stream, and it was a great honor to be doing my very first Q&A live stream. So I was really excited about that. We then ventured out to Pennsylvania. I spent Easter out there, so I did a hotel review of room 308 at the Homewood Suites by Hilton in the East Hershey area. Filmed the elevator at that hotel. Also filmed the elevator at Hershey's Chocolate World. We also discovered the new parking garage elevator at the Alsberg Town Center, located right near the Marshalls and the Saks Fifth Avenue off Fifth store. We also went to Kohl's and Paramus. That's not really something to go over. AMC at Westfield Garden State Plaza. I got to change that title. It should not say Garden State. Oh, no. I don't know. I think it does say Westfield Garden State Plaza, but I just had to put the name there. But anyways, moving on here. An update on the former JCPenney at Westfield Garden State Plaza, along with the service elevator. I actually went to 2 movie theaters in one day, one of these days. I went to AMC at Westfield Garden State Plaza, and I went to the Williams Center Cinema, all on the same day, along with the Kip Avenue parking garage. I also did a video of the Schindler Horton in the East Court of the Westfield Garden State Plaza. Visited the modernized Otis elevators at the Hilton and Hasbrook Heights Meadowlands, which they became Schindler's 6400 NA elevators. Also revisited One Promenade Boulevard in Fairlawn, rode the Kone EcoSpace MRL, and then I went to the Rockley Country Club for a fashion show, and I took a ride on an elevator. I'll probably be taking one more ride in the spring as well. Anyways, so in the spring, we also had the unfortunate announcement of Bon-Ton closing all their stores along with Toys R Us. So basically, Bon-Ton closed that first store in Phillipsburg, and then they pulled the plug in April as well, announced that they would be shutting down all of their remaining locations, and all the other brands too, under the Bon-Ton division, which was very sad. But, you know, that's life for you. We also did the Q&A live stream number 2. We took a ride on the Kone MRL at Nordstrom's Rack Herald Square, and I actually got a request to go to Macy's at Herald Square, but it's more than impossible to film in there. We did a little bit of a tribute video, a liquidation sales at Pier 1 Imports at the Woodbury Center in Central Valley, New York, in that little shopping center right near Woodbury Commons. Filmed some elevators at Woodbury Commons, and yes, another highlight of the year is I got to meet I Hate Escalators, and I've been wanting to meet with him for a long time, but I actually got to meet him in real person, and boy, that was quite an experience to meet with him. Very interesting person. I also rode some elevators in Rochelle Park right before I went to this meetup. We talked about someone getting, it apparently was someone getting harassed or not. I'm not sure about that. About the ThyssenKrupp elevator at Riverside. We also went back to Lincoln Technical Institute at the Alsberg Town Center. I did a video on phases 1 and phase 2 of the shops at Riverside. Went back to the Meadowlands racetrack, did another Q&A live stream, went back to 1 and 2 Executive Drive, talked about Kmart closing in Somerville, New Jersey, went back to the shops at Riverside to do the garage elevators there, filmed a few elevators in Lodi, talked about Kmart closing in Elmwood Park, did a final ride on the elevator at Elmwood Park, and final ride on the escalators as well, did a ThyssenKrupp elevator at the shops at Riverside, also did another ThyssenKrupp elevator at the shops at Riverside, but that was broken. Anyways, so we're going to keep talking really loud. Did both elevators at the Meadowlands racetrack, also did the shops Riverside phase 3 information, which basically talked about the relocation of the Barnes & Noble bookseller store, which relocated at the mall. So that's what happened with that, because they relocated the store from the original location to the new location. Also, we talked about harassed at a PATH station for filming an elevator. I also did a tribute to Toys R Us on Route 4. I didn't do the whole thing because I knew I was going to do a full
liquidation video, but I did that. Also, right before me and Ian made our trip to Toys R Us, Sears announced another round of store closures as well. Now, if I didn't talk about this already, Kmart announced that it was closing several stores, which included Elmwood Park, if I didn't talk about that already. Then Sears announced that it was shutting down 3 more New Jersey stores, which included Quaker Bridge, Seaview Square, and Burlington Town Center, and the one Kmart store in New Jersey, which is in Passaic, which now the closest Kmart to me is in Belleville or Westwood if I really wanted to go all the way up. I then checked out the Kone hydraulic elevator at the Lord & Taylor store at the Fashion Center Mall in Paramus. Did the total liquidation video of Toys R Us Fashion Center Mall, Paramus, New Jersey. Went to the back to the Home Depot in Secaucus, where one of my first videos was filmed. I also did a update on the Paramus Park the Paramus Park former Sears space update about the Stu Leonards coming in. We also filmed a elevator in an undisclosed location in New York City. We talked about Hudson Bay closing 10 Lord & Taylor locations, which unfortunately does include the Fifth Avenue location, which that location is expected to close sometime after the holidays. This was an elevator not working. This was an elevator in an office building in Westwood. My tribute to James Brock 1 year later. About information about the Altabergen Town Center. Information about Toys R Us closing all locations on Friday, June 29th, 2018. Some elevators at the Westmont, New Jersey Transit Station. Another Q&A live stream. End of an era tribute to Toys R Us. Tried to get a ride at the elevator on the Fiesta, but however that did not fall through, unfortunately. We took a ride on a refurbished national elevator in a small little town in Bergen County. Toys R Us is officially gone. Another final ride video of a security elevator in Beach Haven. We also talked about the Hilton Garden Inn in Springfield, New Jersey, which had Schindler 330As. The modernized elevator at Neiman Marcus, another AMC video. We talked about, and then this was another big blow to the Westfield Garden State Plaza. Uniqlo relocating from Westfield Garden State Plaza to the Paramus Park Mall in Paramus, New Jersey. We also went to a Paramus Plaza shopping center, which had a ThyssenKrupp and an Otis. With the Otis was in a Blue Pearl Animal Hospital, and the ThyssenKrupp Mad BS was in Ashley Furniture Home Store. We also looked at an abandoned Babies R Us in that same Plaza shopping center. We also did 2 more Q&A live streams. We did a final ride on the elevator at the Sears store in Ocean Township, New Jersey, at Seaview Square. Unfortunately, could not get to Quaker Bridge because I did not have enough time to get there. So, anyways, we also talked about Blockbuster closing 2 Alaska locations, leaving only Bend, Oregon is the only location left. Saw another elevator in Westwood, did a Q&A live stream right before my trip to California. Went to film some elevators at the San Francisco International Airport. Filmed a hotel review of the West End St. Francis in San Francisco. Took a trip on a 777-200 from Newark Liberty Airport all the way to San Francisco International Airport. Took a cable car ride in San Francisco, California. Also went on some Otis Compass high-rise elevators at the St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco, California. Also on the low rise as well. The Macy's men's store. Went to a mall somewhere in San Francisco. I'm not sure where. Went to a Sheraton in Palo Alto. And also the Westin. We filmed that as well since it was just on the same property. Went to the Olive Garden in Pasadena, California, along with the Doubletree by Hilton. Did a hotel review, then made it back on a B 737-900ER via San Diego. Talked about Walmart closing their store in White Plains, Barnes & Noble Clifton Commons harassment for taking pictures, Q&A live stream number 6 with my friend Ricky, calling the Grandway / Kmart in Elmwood Park, New Jersey for the very last time, the Walmart White Plains closing update. Did about 2 videos, 1 video of the Bistro. Talked about the epic fail at Neiman Marcus. Brookstone closed all their locations. Finally, the parking deck elevator at the Plaza at Harmon Meadow in Secaucus, New Jersey. Went on the elevator at Macy's Westfield Garden State Plaza. The Phillipsburg Sears, which also closed as well. Got a hole in the store, so they had to repatch that up. We also had the Schindler. We also went back to the Westfield Garden State Plaza to ride the Schindler 330A at the food court. Talked about how Simon was expected to demolish the former Sears and Roebuck store at the Ocean County Mall to make way for new shops and restaurants. Walmart closing in White Plains Tribute. Response to Fentech 0104 semi-retirement. Simon's new no photography policy. A Spirit Halloween opening up at a former Kmart. Another Q&A live stream. A Spirit Halloween opening up in former stores across New Jersey. New Jersey NYCT area store closings from 2014 to 2018. Sears once again closing 3 New York stores, which were a couple of stores across upstate and 1 store out on Long Island, but it was in Lake Success. It was no loss. And 1 Sears closing, unfortunately, at the Hamilton Mall. So we did lose an Otis Series 1 at that store. Some other things here. This is a Borough Hall video. Undisclosed location. Calling Sears at Quaker Bridge. Pin W Elevator closes channel. Another Q&A live stream with friend. Lord & Taylor announced that it was shutting down at Monmouth Mall, but that'll be for 2019. New retailers coming to North Jersey Mall, Secaucus Junction. Cheeseburger in Paradise closing in Nebraska, leaving Secaucus, New Jersey as the only location. How to deal with employee security guard when filming elevator, and elevator at Lord & Taylor in Westfield, New Jersey. Abandoned former Grandway / Kmart in Elmwood Park, New Jersey, and actually as of now they're on the process of knocking this building down. Another Q&A live stream. We also went back to the Altenburg Town Center, live stream from view of camcorder. Talks about the Altenburg Town Center's construction status of the new Burlington Coat Factory store. Sears brings in M3 partners for Chapter 11 bankruptcy proceedings. The new ThyssenKrupp Mad BS near AMC at the Shops Riverside. The final ride on the elevator at Barnes & Noble at the Shops Riverside, because that store was going to be condemned as of November of 2018 to make way for new upscale stores. Important Q&A live stream number 10. Sears is going to close 142 stores by the end of this year, which is probably today, which included on that list of area stores in the area that were closing, the Sears and shops at Nanuet, Sears at Jefferson Valley Mall, along with the Sears and Garden City, New York. So that was pretty bad. These were plans to knock down the Sears store. Oh yeah, these were plans approved to knock down the Sears store in Toms River. Burlington Coat Factory is moving into the new Altenburg Town Center. And then the last really bad blow for this year, National Wholesale Liquidators files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Then we had the announcement of National Wholesale Liquidators closing in Lodi, New Jersey, as we found out on the NJ Warren website of those people losing their jobs. Barnes & Noble's relocation at the Shops Riverside. Sears closing 40 more stores in February of 2019, including at the Stroud Mall. The relocation of California Pizza Kitchen at Westfield Garden State Plaza in the new Premium Fashion District. We also had the relocation of Barnes & Noble right next to the new Cheesecake Factory in the first floor portion of the former Saks Fifth Avenue, and boy, that's a mouthful. Another Q&A live stream, along with a new type of elevator I've never been on before, a Penny-Matic vacuum elevator. We also did the final ride on the LG escalators at National Wholesale Liquidators, the final ride on the Garden State elevator at National Wholesale Liquidators. We also did a standard hydraulic elevator at 464 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. We also did a short video about the final days of National Wholesale Liquidators in Lodi, New Jersey. And then we did Set to Close Monday. And then we had another blow of Macy's closing at the Shops in Nanuet in early 2019. Q&A live stream number 12. My tribute video for 7 years ago. ThyssenKrupp elevator at Paramus Place. Schindler Kone elevator at the East Wing, Westfield Garden State Plaza. A final ride on the Westinghouse escalators at the Sears store in Garden City, New York. And also a final ride on the Burlington Dover hydraulic elevator at Sears in Garden City, New York. We also rode on the modernized Montgomery Kone hydraulic elevator at Lord & Taylor in Garden City, New York. Had another Q&A live stream number 13, 14, and I think this is supposed to be 15. I'm not sure about that. And then we had Eddie Lampert creating a $4.6 billion proposal to save Sears from bankruptcy. We took a look at the abandoned Toys R Us and Babies R Us at the Mill Creek Mall at Harmon Meadow in Secaucus, New Jersey. The final ride on the Otis escalators at the Sears and Roebuck store at the Shops at Nanuet in Nanuet, New York. The final ride on the Schindler elevator at Sears and Roebuck at the Shops at Nanuet, New York. Final ride on the Westinghouse escalators at the Macy's, which used to be Bamberger, Shops at Nanuet, New York. The Surge hydraulic elevator at Macy's, the Shops at Nanuet, New York. We also rode on the 3300 as well. and the Cronin hydraulic elevator at the West Wing, Westfield Garden State Plaza, Paramus, New Jersey. Attempted to get a ride on the Bistro elevator at Westfield Garden State Plaza, Paramus, New Jersey. The deadline to save Sears out of bankruptcy, which they did successfully get saved. However, they did have to close about 80 stores, which included the Kmart in Toms River, which is expected to close in early 2019. We finally had the rise and fall of Cheeseburger in Paradise, and to finish off the year, we had the Cisco traction elevator at Century 21 in Morristown, New Jersey, which I just visited today. So, guys, that is 2018, a year in review. You can clearly tell this has been a roller coaster year for me and my channel, but in a good way. We got to see a lot of people. I got to meet some people that I never met before, documented some store closings, documented some final rides on some elevators, and also some Q&A live streams as well, and many other things to name, much, much more. So, what does 2019 have to offer us? So I'll give you guys just a little bit of 2019. So 2019, we've got a couple of things. In January, we've got Lord & Taylor closing at the Monmouth Mall, followed by Sears at the Stroudsburg Mall in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, closing in February. And we have Kmart in Toms River closing in March. So we already have 3 store closings lined up. Lord & Taylor at Monmouth Mall in January, which was announced back in September of 2018. We have Sears closing at the Stroud Mall in February of 2018. February 2019. And we also have Kmart closing in Toms River in March of 2019. So, anyways, guys, that is going to be my year in review of 2018. Met a lot of friends, store closings, and elevator reviews. So, looking forward to 2019. We're definitely going to get to see a lot of store closures. I promise. I'll get to Lord & Taylor Monmouth Mall either this weekend or before the end of the month. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching my year in review of 2018. What a roller coaster year it's been. Thank you guys so much. And also, let me worth noting before we get out of here, guys, we've reached 500 subscribers this year. That's also another very key point I forgot to bring up. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this year in review of 2018, and hope to see you guys in 2019. So, that's it. Thanks for watching. Also, stay tuned for the New Year's Countdown to 2019 video coming in 2019. So stay tuned for that, guys. That's it.